What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Shivs. I'm going to make a very, very short, snappy video on how to improve your damage as an assassination rogue in PvP right now. This guide is specifically for Arena. I'm not going to cover off the beginning. I'm not going to cover off any of the boring stuff. In fact, this is the talents. You can copy and paste this build off any guide online. Go check it out on Wowhead. The only thing you're ever really going to be swapping out is Kingsbane into his Indiscriminate Carnage, which will play into threes, into a double melee comp. Outside of that, you're probably going to run Kingsbane every single time. There isn't really any choice nodes within the new talents, the hero talents, apart from Follow the Blood is the go-to in threes. Outside of threes, you want to be running Moment of Despair, because you wouldn't benefit from this if there's not 3 enemies that you can rupture. Okay, cool. Other new changes since last season, if you're a returning rogue to the War Within, we now ambush in the opener. So you want to go cheap shot and ambush straight away. It does a bunch of damage. Even within like the first couple of seconds, the new hero talents are probably going to contribute around 300 to 400k in extra plague damage from just like passive damage increases, things like hunt them down. You know, it hits really, really hard. You 100% need to get that going. Also, it's very, very hard to apply Deathstalker's Mark if you forget to do it at the start. It just becomes really clunky. So you want to get it going. Other things to consider is Darkest Night, and now makes your Envenom guaranteed critical strike at 60% bonus damage, and it works really well with Lingering Darkness. So typically speaking, if you're applying pressure from the beginning, your Darkest Night buff, which you get after you do 3 Envenoms on a marked target, lines up pretty well with Lingering Darkness, and you can hit about 1.8 million and Venom crits right now, which is insane. Bearing in mind sudden demise, which is basically an execute, which will cause the target to die instantly if the bleed damage that they have remaining on them in total exceeds more than 150 of their remaining health, 150%. This is typically executing people for me around 10% health right now based on the gear we're at. So, basically what I'm saying is if you have Darkest Night, you can just kill someone from like 40% health as long as they have bleeds on them with 1 Envenom. So it's really big. Let's have a look at this, right? So we're going to go Cheap Shot, Ambush, Garrote, Rupture. Now, if you have enough haste, you can slice and dice before the Cheap Shot, the second Cheap Shot. Unless you're running around 10% haste, you won't get it off. I don't have enough haste. So personally, right now in Arena, I'm not really using slice and dice in my opener. I apply it after the first go. It just works better for me. It makes more sense for me to get all my damage out whilst we have CC going. So here we go. After that second cheap shot, so I'm not going to slice in this example because I just don't. I'm not doing it right now. After that, we go Death Marker, Shift plus T into Kingsbane, and then you want to shrink. You want to macro your badge with your Kingsbane every minute. And then we just go into spenders and builders and spenders, right? Big Envenoms. Clear the Witness is definitely worth using. Clear the Witnesses, so I'll just explain that. It's a new hero talent. After Death Stalker's Mark, your next Fan of Knives applies extra plague damage, which can crit, and it generates 1 additional combat point. So you do want to, even in complete single target, you will press Fan of Knives in your opener after Mark. All right, let's have a look at that. So it's really fast, so I'm not going to be able to explain it all here. But Cheap Shot, Ambush, Garrote, Rupture, T, Shiv, King's Mark, Fan of Knives, Kingsbane, Pump. Now, always good to work in another improved Garrote there, so it's worth vanishing. And now we have the super big Darkest Night buff. All right, I'm going to hold this until Death Mark expires, and then we're going to send a T into a really big Envenom. Which is why Envenom's so big, right? Oh my god, 2.1 million. Alright, so you saw it. If you have 100% uptime, you want to hold that Envenom until you have the Darkest Night buff, which is after Deathmark expires. That's big. In PvP, naturally, that will happen organically because it's very unlikely that you'll be sitting there doing a perfect rotation. So naturally, it's something you probably don't have to pay too much attention to. But just bear in mind, we have a big ass Envenom after the opener now. Another thing, little tip for you, it's a perfect time to target swap because Darkest Night will reapply Mark of Death not Mark of Death, Deathstalker's Mark. It will reapply right down the bottom there. Deals 6% additional damage, applies 3 stacks of Deathstalker's Mark to the target, which means I can reapply that to a new target without stealth. So it's a perfect time to swap off. At that point, realistically, they're either dead or they've popped trinkets. The healers popped their trinket. They've popped their biggest healing CDs. The guy that I'm attacking has popped all their defensives. It's kind of like, am I going to kill them with this? If not, I'm going to target swap and just go get the defensive of someone else. And then I'll just wait until that 1 minute mark until I get Kingsbane back, and then I'll just win the game there. All right, that's it for now. If you can execute that opener, you are going to win a lot of games when the season starts. That you'll probably find that you'll jump straight up to like 1.6, 1.7, 1.8k rating quite quickly, because Assassination Rogue's in a very, very good place right now, and it hits really, really hard. Good luck in the season, and if you're interested in Rogue PvP, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be uploading regular gameplay as we push for Glad this season, and I'll see you in the next video.